What's going on, YouTube? Enjoy here right again with another video. Today, we need to talk about the Black Ops 7 beta. The beta just ended about an hour ago. I actually didn't play it today, so like last night was my last night playing it. I wanted to talk about like the goods, the bads, the uglies, the in betweens. Spoiler alert: there is no uglies. There is no uglies. Um, and what's to come ahead? Because actually, before I started recording this, they actually had a blog talking about what's coming, which I'll get into that in the end. So pretty much, okay, the good things. I'll go first. The maps. These maps, I mean, there's only 6 maps in the beta, which again I've talked about this before. 6 maps was the most maps I think we've ever had for just a beta. We usually get like 3 or 4. Like we'll get like 3 in one like the weekend, and then we'll get like a fourth like in the second weekend. Um, they did that originally. Like the first day it was 3 maps, and then it was 4, and then 5, and then 6. Like they kept adding one map every day after that. The a nice variety of maps. Every map looked different. It didn't look like an Avalon Warzone POI cutout cut from the big map and put into the game, which is what we've had previously in Black Ops 6, as well as in Modern Warfare 2 with the Al Mazrah and all that stuff. Whatever. The maps are colorful, pretty spacious, definitely more of a medium-sized, traditional medium-sized, not this medium as I call it, kind of like a Skyline or Vault or some of the other maps that we had in BO6 where they were posted as a medium-sized map like Bounty or Dealership, but they were actually small. Like they were smaller than a medium, but bigger than a small. So it was like schmedium, as I called it. These maps actually had space. You had time to think a lot on some of the maps. Not all the maps, of course, like Blackheart, for example. Blackheart was a very tiny map. But even that map, you still had room to do stuff. It wasn't just like left stick slamming, you know, stuff. Uh, Speaking of left stick slamming and stuff, wall bouncing, I liked it. Good addition to the game. Adds a little bit of a skill gap in terms of gunfights. But honestly, it's more used. You can definitely outplay someone by doing it. I've seen clips and highlights of people, doing it, and I've done it, and I had it happen to me. Like I lost gunfights because they like bounced this corner, and then they bounced over the doorway, and then they're on this side, and I'm sliding in, challenging, and then whatever. But most of the time, it's used to like get to places quicker or to engage in a different way. I definitely like it. I like it a lot. I'm a jetpack fan. I love Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare is in my Mount Rushmore, which is like a top 4 Call of Duties of all time. So like I enjoy it. I know some people it's not for everyone, and that's fine. You might not like it. Maybe you like a more grounded, slower style of game. But me personally, I like the fun, the wall bounce and stuff. Movement in general, obviously, it felt fine. It did feel toned back a little bit from Black Ops 6, but it wasn't a bad thing. I do feel like Black Ops 6, like sliding sideways, backwards, it felt like a little too fast. Um, So they toned it back a little bit. I know Exclusive Ace posted a video where he like compared the sliding sideways, but one thing he didn't post in his video, which I did test, was sliding the backwards. There was definitely a delay when you did that, like getting back up on your feet or whatever, like trying to like cancel a backward slide. It felt clunky, but again, it wasn't a bad thing. It's more of a tone down, like tone back like type thing. The gunplay felt great. Obviously, I'll talk about TTK later, but the gunplay in general felt fine. I love that they have continued with these attachments having no cons on most of them. Most of them. Some of them had it, some of them didn't. The ones that had it needed it, like laser sights or high caliber or whatever, like rapid fire. Like some of those attachments, like thermal scopes and stuff, like they have like some like on attached to the attachments. So the gunplay felt fine. It wasn't like obviously it felt fluid and great. Um, the overclock system, I was skeptical at first, and maybe I still kind of am in some cases. Which I'll get into in a second. There is something I didn't like about it, or it was more like in between. But the overclocks, most of them didn't. You didn't really even notice a difference, like when you were just playing the game. You couldn't even tell if they were using that overclock with that equipment or that thing for the most part. Again, there is a couple which I'll get into where it was really noticeable and it was really annoying. I hope they do address that later on. Visibility kind of goes with the map's design, so it's more colorful, more bright stuff. So it's definitely easier to see people, especially with the health bars. Shout out to the health bars. I love the health bars because I just like seeing that. That's just me personally, a personal preference. There is an option to turn it off. If you don't like it, you can just turn it off. Me personally, I like it because it does help with visibility, so you can see people from longer ranges. Because, like, as you can tell, I wear glasses, and I'm old. I'm 36. I'm unk. It's hard to see shit sometimes. I'm sorry. It just is. Like, anyhow, next up is doors. Again, going into the game, automatic doors is better than manual doors, of course. But I will address one thing. I put this in the positive. It's more about it's like an in between kind of. They did already remove some of the doors from the maps that we have played in, like Cortex and the Forge. But I still think that the doors need to be clear. That's my issue with the doors right now. Again, I prefer automatic doors over the manual doors, and I appreciate that they removed some of those automatic doors already in the beta, like after like 2 days. But they need to make them clear so you can see through them, kind of, so you can see if someone's camping on the other side of the door, just pre-aiming the door, waiting for it to open and shoot someone. Kind of like in BO4. I'll give an example. Arsenal. Going into P1 was like the middle room with like the pillars. Both sides had doors, but you can see through there was like a V-shaped thing. There was a big box, kind of like that was clear, like it was like clear glass where you can see through the door before opening it to see if someone's in there. If they'd switched the doors to that, zero complaints. I will leave the auto doors as in a plus because again, going into the beta, auto doors is better than manual doors. So to me, that was a plus that they made that change. Next up is my in between. It's not good, it's not bad. It's kind of like an indifferent thing. Number one thing, again, I talked about it kind of already, was time to kill. Honestly, the time to kill was actually pretty average in this game. It just felt fast. I mean, it just felt fast, which I'll address that in the negatives. Well, it's kind of like a negative kind of in the middle. It's pretty much headshot multiplier. Again, we didn't see the advanced stats in the game. They didn't have it activated, so we couldn't tell how much damage we are doing at headshots. To me personally, it felt like headshots were doing crazy amounts of damage, and that's why people are getting evaporated in certain gunfights. But they did already say like, hey, time to kill is actually like pretty similar on average to Black Ops 6, which I actually like the Black Ops 6 time to kill average. So I personally didn't care about the time to kill, but I definitely noticed the headshots were crazy in this game. So it's again, it's kind of in between for me. Like it was a good thing and a bad thing. It wasn't a you know what I'm saying? It was an in between thing. Next up I want to talk about is score streaks. Now originally I had score streaks in the positives because I do think that the score streaks in the beta were fine up until like the last 2 days where people started figuring out stuff. Dispatcher, UAV, counter UAV, dispatcher, overclock with the charge link and bankroll. They gotta fix that shit. That was fucking annoying these last couple days, where people were just spamming UAVs and counter UAVs the whole game and just snowballing them the entire game. Your screen is screwed up. Well, the UAV is screwed up. The mini map is screwed up because of counter UAV the entire game. They needed to address that. I did not like that, so I actually moved this from a positive to like in between. But the other score streaks were cool. You know, like it was fun using like the stuff like the grave maker. I know like that was a problem. People talk about that was an issue. It is annoying, you know, to have like this stupid sniper that you can see through all shit and like it is stupid and annoying, but like it is what it is. It's a streak. Maybe like increase the score to get it. I don't know. The dog was fun. I pet the dog. The dog was jumping around doing stuff. It was cool. I actually didn't use the other high streaks. I just kept using like UAV counter UAV dog or the skewer. Which, by the way, skewer target miss, skewer target miss, skewer target miss. They need to. I would actually be okay with them slightly buffing the skewer, just a little bit because like it is really hit or miss, but it's more miss or hit if that makes any sense because it definitely missed 10 times more than it hit. Next thing that's in between is overload. Now I'm gonna sit here and talk about this for a few minutes. Okay, overload, the new mode that they made. They made it for competitive in mind. That game mode is not fucking competitive right now in its current state. I'm sorry. It's just fucking not. For it to be competitive, they need to fix like so many things because in its current state it is very unplayable as a competitive game mode. It can be fun, but people started to realize like I'm not playing the objective. I'm going to just go fucking spawn trap them and kind of like control. Like how people play control. People were just playing overload like TDM. Kind of like they were playing control these last few years. Like they're just playing like it was TDM. They weren't playing the fucking objective. It was really fucking frustrating as someone who likes to play the objective, who's more objective mind, who plays for the win. I had an over 2.0, almost 2 point whatever win loss ratio in the beta when I looked up the BO7 beta stats or whatever. I played to win, and I can't fucking win if no one wants to fucking do anything. And excuse my language, but it just irritated me. So I don't think it's a competitive mode currently. What I would do to fix it is there's a lot of things I want to fix about it, honestly. The device needs to be spawning only in the middle, not this whole it randomly spawns on the left or the right lane. I didn't like that at all. I don't actually like having two goals, A and B. And also, obviously, the radar pulse on the thing. Now, I don't mind that for pubs. They've already said that they're going to take out the radar pulse for competitive, like if you enable CDL rules, which is fine. That's good. Um, I just I'm just not a fan of it. I just wasn't a fan of it. And the number one thing for me, at least from a competitive aspect, it needs a respawn timer. Playing 6v6 on it was really frustrating to like look at the kill feed. We got 4 dead. I'm trying to push up, or I'm trying to help the person who has the device push up to get it, and then those 4 people that we just killed spawn right there, and they're pre-aiming the A point or B point or whatever, and you're just dead, and then I die, and then the person device dies, and then now we're just back to where we were because now we're back in spawn. We spawn up, we move up, the device they're trying to bring up, and now we kill them. It's just what I'm saying? It's just back and forth. Like it's just really frustrating and hard to like even get goals sometimes. Well, I guess that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because it's like I don't know. Like I said, me personally, in a 44 setting, turn off the radar thing, add a respawn timer, maybe only have the device be spawning in the middle, and I would say it was better. But in its current state, it's in between. I didn't care for it too much. It wasn't like the worst game mode ever, but it definitely needs to be like a lot of fixes. Next up is the negatives, which is not a whole lot. Like I said, I've had like a bunch of positives about the map, a bunch of positives, some stuff in between, but they're more leaning towards positives if they just address it and fix it. I already talked about the headshot multiplier. That's why I feel like why the TTK feel kind of crazy in this game. There was the occasional desyncing. Obviously, this happens every year. I'm not gonna like super punish them or grade them harshly on that. This happens every year with every developer. It is what it is. It felt better over time. I forgot what day it was exactly. I think it was Saturday. They they did an update that I think it was Saturday. They did an update and or no, it was Friday. They did an update and the game was so unplayable for me. Like every game was like I joined in progress and it was packet loss, or the game was fresh, it was packet loss, and I kept getting into lobbies where I couldn't vote. It was weird. It was a weird. I don't know if it was a bug, but every time I joined the lobby, like in the pregame lobby, like the map is already picked. So like either I joined in like at the last second, but it kept happening. Like the whole day, it just kept happening like that. Like I never got a chance to vote the map I wanted to play. Um, so that was annoying, but like whatever. But again, going back to the desynching stuff, not a big deal. I didn't have any issues with it except for that one day where I kept getting pack lost the whole day, so I just turned it off and stopped playing until they fixed it. Which again, they fixed it the very next day. Whatever they did the next day, I was like, okay, whatever you guys did, thanks, because I'm back down to like 9 ping and 0 pack loss. Cool. But that's pretty much that. The next thing I'm talking about is combat specialties. I hated it last year, and I'm gonna hate it this year, if not more, because now you have hybrid combat specialties. So like you're just guaranteed pretty much to have a combat specialty on your class. They pretty much are forcing it now. Like with hybrids, like okay, 2 red, 1 green equals whatever, or 2 green, 1 red, or 2 blue, 1 red, or 2 blue, 1 green, or 2 blue, or 1 blue, 2 red, whatever. Like that's how that works. I just hate it. It just adds an extra layer of just it's just there and it's just annoying, honestly. It just doesn't need to be a thing. It's a stupid gimmick that just doesn't need to be in the game, honestly. And then some of them are kind of OP, like when you start stacking it, like when you get I forgot which one it was, but like when you stack that with the dispatcher, overclocks on your UAV, counter UAV scout pulse, with the charge link perk and the one I forgot what it's called, one of the field upgrades, you're just getting like infinite score the whole game, and you're just constantly getting UAV, counter UAV scout pulses, and it's just that was frustrating and annoying. Other things I didn't like about the game: cluster grenade, drone pod, and point turret. Those do not need to be in the game, or cluster or readdress. Those do not need to be in the game as it is. Drone pod, especially as a field upgrade, you just put this trophy system thing looking down, but instead of a trophy that's blocking stuff, it sends out attack drones and they fly at people and kill them. And it's just really even when like most of the time they're not actually killing you, they're just hurting you. It's really annoying. Like sliding into a gunfight and this little point turret thing is shooting at you for like 50 health. So now you're half health going into like a gunfight, and then you're just dying because of this thing shooting at you while you're sliding into a doorway. Super annoying. Like I said, they weren't getting kills all like that. I don't think I've died to a point turret, but like I died like a handful of times because it like tagging me up while I'm like bouncing off a wall or shooting at someone. Drone pod just annoying as well. Like I said, that shit just same thing. Like it'll chase you. Like those things will chase you. They'll hit you in the back for like, even with flak jacket, like 30, 40 health, I'll say, and you're about to get into a gunfight. Now you're getting into a gunfight with 60 health, and it's like, okay, well, I'm dead. It was just annoying. And cluster grenade with the overclock with the extra little cluster balls. Again, being an objective minded player, sitting in the hill trying to cap B, and people like team of 6 throwing all cluster grenades, and their cluster grenades are blowing up with more clusters because they overclock. Super annoying. That's pretty much it in terms of like the good and the bad and the ugly. There is no ugly, like I said. Now, I want to talk about this last point before I wrap up this video. I don't want to eat up too much, but I want to talk about the blog. So the blog said, we appreciate you guys with the feedback of Open Mosh Pit, because they did Open Mosh Pit, which reduced heavily the skill-based matchmaking part of it. So like ping is king again, and you're getting into faster lobbies with as best a connections they can possibly give you, where the skill part of your searching isn't weighed heavily. Again, that's how that worked. They announced that at launch, excuse me, at launch, that's just how the game's going to be. So it's not going to be just a playlist. It's just going to be how the game is. Amazing. So pretty much, essentially, no skill-based matchmaking. It's heavily reduced skill-based matchmaking. Excellent. Persistent lobbies are back. Excellent. Now I can stop hearing Exclusive Ace complain about that in every single one of his videos. And I love Exclusive Ace. I'm not saying anything bad. I love Exclusive Ace, but like, if I had a nickel for every time he said creates rivalries and friendships and da 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 da, I'd have $1 million. But like bringing that back, it's awesome. Like I'm glad that it's back. Awesome. They also addressed aim assist being slightly nerfed. Awesome. For all you mouse keyboard people out there who still play mouse keyboard on Call of Duty, which you shouldn't be doing because this is more of a console type of game. That's another score for another day. I'm not going to argue with you guys about that. But all great. Treyarch, I just want to say this real quick to Matt and Lawrence and everyone else who works there. I've said this already on Twitter, X, whatever. This beta was great. I gave it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Maybe like 8, 8. I'll just say 8, 8.5. I'm not going to say 9. Because that charge link dispatcher shit really made me drop it a peg. It really did. Like yesterday when I was playing, it was so annoying. Matt, Lawrence, Treyarch, you guys have a home run with the potential grand slam here. You guys keep this up. If you keep this up, the rest of the launch maps are great. The content's great. You guys keep up the stuff, and if competitive is great, if rank play is fun to play the whole year, because I didn't even play rank play this year. Like I just didn't play rank play this year for real. Like in BO6. Season 1, I played over 200 games. Season 2, I played like 80 games. Season 3, I played like 50 games. Season 4, I played like 30 games, and then Season 5 just now at the last season that we just had, I played one game at ranked. It just said I just my caring about playing ranked drastically just went down. If you keep up if ranked is fun, if ranked is good, the maps are good. I will say this right now, it will be a top 5 Call of Duty of all time. I'll put it in my top 5. I'll put it ahead of some other games that I have. I've made a tier list before. I'll put it at the top of A tier, S tier, even if you guys keep it up. 'Cause I really enjoyed the beta. I enjoyed the game. Like I said, there wasn't like a whole lot of negatives, and even some of these negatives are more just like little annoying things more than actual like game breaking. I hate this game type of shit. So thank you, Treyarch, for making a great game, and I cannot wait to play the full game in a month. So that's pretty much it. Wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment what you liked about the beta, did not like about the beta. Are you excited for the actual game? Or do you not care? Like whatever. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.